Hello and welcome to today's video. We are going to be talking about my 10 before the end, the 10 books that I would absolutely love to get to by the end of the year. This is awfully ambitious, to be honest, because we have about a week left in November and then just December. But I will be trying to get through all 10 of these books. Some of the books on this list are on here because I'm extremely excited about them, but there's also some on here that are on here just because I'm giving them a last chance. These books, I need to either read them or unhaul them by the end of the year because it is getting kind of ridiculous. So we have some range here in these 10 books, but I'm so excited to get into it with you guys. I have my eggnog latte. It's an oat milk eggnog latte. Grab a cozy drink and let's talk about my 10 before the end. My first book on this list, luckily, is a book that I'm very excited about. This is Lightbreakers by Aja Gabel. This book was my November Book of the Month pick, and I would love to be able to read all my Book of the Month picks in the month that they were chosen for, because that just makes sense. But unfortunately, that is not often the case for me. I have had Book of the Month books that stack up. So I would love to get to this at least in the month it was chosen or the month after, preferably. And this book sounds so extremely good. I don't think I've read anything quite like it. It follows Maya and Noah, a married couple who have the opportunity to do some time traveling, and they both go on their own separate journey, I believe, to see people in their past. Noah is wanting to visit his daughter from a previous relationship who died. And the book is asking the question of, if we go back in time to our past loves, does it disrupt our love in the present? I think this one sounds super interesting. It has a lot of potential, and I would love to get the November Book of the Month pick done before 2026. Another one that is on this list because I am extremely excited about is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have seen so many reviews about this and not one of them has been bad. Every single time I've seen this book being read in a reading vlog or in some sort of video, there are tears being shed. It seems like an extremely enthralling read. You are very in the world and you are getting emotional, which I absolutely love in the books that I read. All I know about this one is that it follows our main character, Joan Goodwin, as she goes up to space. She is an astronaut. And from reading Taylor Jenkins Reid's past books, I know she goes super in depth and super in detail about very specific things. So there's been tennis players, there's been actors, there's been musicians, and now we have an astronaut. I just have to trust her. I just have to trust that she's caught this, and also trust all the people that I've seen review it. And I'm very excited to get to this one. The next one is one that is on my November TBR. That's another category. Some of these books were on my November TBR, so they have to get read. This one is Entitlement by Rumaan Alam. And I got this one from a video on Jack Edwards' channel. I don't know if it was just a TBR of his or a book he was recommending, but this is on my November TBR and definitely has to be read. It follows Brooke, who is a little bit lost, a little bit confused. She's feeling kind of behind and searching for a purpose, and she gets a job where she gets to help decide where this billionaire's money is going. He is getting to the end of his life, and he has amassed so much wealth, and he just wants to get rid of it and put it to good use before he dies. And she finds herself in this close proximity to so much wealth, and it starts to change her life. I have started reading this one because it is on my TBR, not finished yet. I'm not loving it, but we will see. I'm not finished, so I can't say for sure, but it will be read. Next on our list is a read or unhaul. To be freaking honest, this has been on my TBR for so long. That is When We Lost Our Heads. I've owned it for a long time, but it was also on my mental TBR for so long, and then I found it at a thrift store for very cheap, so I decided to pick it up, and for some reason I haven't gotten to it. It is set in Montreal, which I absolutely love. I really love when books are set somewhere in Canada. It is following our main character, Mary, and she lives in Montreal. Her family has so much wealth, and she has everything but a friend. And we see her get into, I believe it's going to be some sort of like toxic friendship, and it's kind of just exploring that and young girls and the friendships that they have. So I think that I will like it. I just need to crack it open. I just need to read her. So this is on the list. Another read or unhaul is Autumn by Ali Smith. Ali Smith has a seasonal quartet. So she has autumn, she has winter, she has spring, she has summer. And I have not read any, but I have tried. I have started this book a few times now, and I just have not been able to get into it. But I know that if I push myself to just stick with it, keep reading it, that it will be worth it. It's not supposed to be a book that is easy to get into, that's addicting. I don't think it's supposed to be easy to read and fast paced. So I need to settle down and sink my teeth in it and just put aside proper time to read it. And it's autumn. It's going to be winter soon. She needs to be read. We have, what do you think? Another reader on haul, okay? I need a drink. I don't even know what to say about this book at this point. This is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. And this has been on my TBRs a bunch of times. This has been, I don't know where it's been, but I tried to read it so many times. I've gotten halfway through at points, and it has just not worked for me. I immediately thought I was going to like it because I knew it was about fairies. It's supposed to be a cozy fantasy about fairies, and I loved fairies growing up, so I was like, oh, this is perfect. But it is just not working in my brain, but I want to give it one last chance, and this is the last chance that I'm going to give it. I've also always seen this book as a spring book and a book to read in spring, but I've recently realized that it is a snowy setting. Like, I have read half the book and I still thought it was a spring book. So clearly I was not in it. I was not engaged in the book, but we are giving it one last chance this winter. It needs to be read or off my shelf, and I need to just come to terms with the fact that it is not for me if it doesn't work. Another book that is on my November TBR is We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. This is the book that follows Bunny. I've heard you can read it before Bunny, it can follow Bunny, it can be a standalone. It doesn't really matter, but we get kind of a deeper dive into these girls that call themselves Bunny. If you have not read Bunny, how many times can I say Bunny in one sitting? We will find out. But if you have not read Bunny by Mona Awad, it is at a school setting, and it is about these girls that call themselves Bunny, and they are very strange and kind of, I don't know if it's charismatic, but they're like sparkly. Like, everyone is just so interested and intrigued by them. And our main character, she kind of gets brought into this group, and she goes down the whirlwind of what these girls are and what they do, and it is very interesting, very eerie. It is 100% fever dream. You do not know what is real and what is fake the whole time, and I personally loved it. I know it's a very love or hate book, but I loved it, and I'm very excited about this book. I did have a friend that said that she bought this book and then she returned it. She returned the book. I didn't even know that you could do that, but that's how much she disliked it, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I still want to read it, obviously, so we are going to read this. 3 more books. We are getting through it. The next one, luckily, is one that I am extremely excited for. The reason it is on this list is because I cannot freaking wait to read it. We have Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This has been on my list for a long time, but I recently just bought it a few days ago, a week ago, because I feel like it is going to be the perfect winter read. And I heard it's another emotional read. It is in a small town named Beartown, and they don't have much going on in that town, but they do have a hockey. And everyone in the town is just so involved in the hockey team and so engaged with it. And they have the chance to be in the national championships, so the whole town is super excited until something violent happens, something terrible happens, and it changes everything for the town and everybody in the town. And I just cannot wait to get to this one. So this is one that's on the list because I'm excited. I'm so very excited. Probably will be in some sort of winter cozy reading vlog this month or December. Next, we have Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. This is one of the books that I need to read or unhaul this season because it's getting kind of ridiculous, if I'm being honest with you. I got this at a thrift store. I wanted something spooky. It was the fall of many years ago, and I just never ended up picking it up. And then this fall, I realized that it is actually a non-fiction book, which I'm very surprised about. So it is about a real story. That intrigues me a little bit more because I think this is going to be so creepy, so eerie. I don't think I've ever read a nonfiction book that is supposed to be scary, but it needs to be read. If I do not read it this year, I fear I will never read it. So this is on the list. And last, but especially not least, it's actually a book that I completed because I read it just a few days ago and I made this list before that, but it is The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff, and this book was incredible. I can give you my actual review for this one because I finished it. I gave it a 5 stars. I highly recommend this book. The way that it was written was just so beautiful, and I don't think I've ever been as emotionally invested in a book as I was to this one, and also A Little Life. Like, nothing has compared emotionally or just in the way that I felt towards the book, like how sad I got during the book. Yeah, nothing has compared to A Little Life, but this one definitely does. I was teary-eyed the whole way through. Almost too much at points, but it was so good. Life sometimes is too much. It's too sad. So it's okay. I don't think it was over the top, but this book follows Ryan and Lillian as they start their relationship, and it just evolves, and you kind of see their whole entire life and everything that happens to them and to their ever-evolving family. The day that I finished this, I went to work afterwards, and I was feeling like just this lump in my throat. I felt like I could cry at any moment, and I couldn't really pinpoint what was going on. And then people at work started to notice. They were like, "Are you okay? Like, you don't seem your regular happy self. Like, what's going on?" And I realized, I was like, oh my God, it's because of the book. People noticed that I was sad at work because of a book. So if that doesn't tell you that this is a good book and you should try to read it, then I don't know what will, but just be careful. Be careful because you might not be yourself for the next couple days. That is my final 10 before the end, my end of the year TBR. So thank you so much for being here and watching today's video and listening to me talk for probably way too long. Let me know what is on your end of the end of the year TBR. Let me know because I would love to know what you guys are reading and what you're most excited for, what you need to get off your shelf. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!